You can hire a marketing company to buy downloads for your podcast, which is going to look really good on charts, but it doesn't actually contribute to any ROI. Don't start a podcast to make money. Start it to educate people. Have your passion, make sure that it aligns with helping people, because that's really what podcasting was about.
One question, if you were to, let's say, take a person and they want to start a podcast, they know what they want to do, they have an authentic vision or what they want to build from it, but they're literally haven't done their first episode yet. If you took them from that place to get them to their first 1,000 subscribers, what would be your plan of action to get them there at the fastest?
And they haven't recorded an episode?
Yeah, you can assume that they're just at the beginning, whatever that looks like for you. They haven't done anything yet, but they're passionate about it. They've maybe had some success in other things in their life.
Where do they have success in other parts of their life? We don't work with any podcasters that don't have some type of platform. They can be starting from scratch on a podcast. That's fine. Do they have a social? Do they have an email list? Are they an author? What else are we able to capitalize on here? The number one organic way of growing is to be on other people's shows. We specialize in organic growth. You can hire a marketing company to buy downloads for your podcast, which is going to look really good on charts, but it doesn't actually contribute to any ROI. We don't specialize in that. We specialize in organic growth.
Right.
So if you're an author, great. Let's get you on some other people's shows. You can organically talk about your book, but also segue into the fact that you have a podcast and segue into maybe a membership community. Ultimately, you want to get them in, right? My preference is not to actually push people to listen to somebody's podcast. It's to push to an email list. Once they're in your email list, you can sell them. You can tell them about your show. You can tell them about your book. You can tell them about your membership community. You can tell them where you're going to be next month. Making sure that you have an email opt-in on your website and some sort of freebie that you can offer people, because you got to give them something. Typically as well, when we want somebody to do something from an audience perspective, we need to give 3 things and ask for one. Do you have a free gift? Do you have a guide? Do you have a free chapter of your book? That's just a PDF download. Put in your email address. You get this chapter. You get this gift guide, whatever it is. You've retained their email. And then from there, you can get them into your podcast. You can get them into whatever else it is, right? So that's what I would say. Going on other people's shows, having something relevant to talk about is always really important. And of course, giving them something. So when you go on somebody's show, head to my website, put this in, you'll get your fat burning course. Cool. That sounds great. Really depends what your niche is and what you're wanting to offer to people. And if you have a big social, maybe doing some IG lives, pushing people towards your email list from your social. That's always one of the hardest things I find with new podcasters. They have this big social following. How do you convert your social following to a podcast? Because they may not be podcast people. They may just be social people, right? But you convert 20% of your social audience to your podcast. Over time, it'll take some time to get there, but making sure that you're promoting your podcast on your social, taking clips, doing a giveaway. We launched a podcast for a very well-known athlete late last year. We did a giveaway on her social. She has about 2 million followers on Instagram. What are we going to do to push people to her podcast? We're going to do a giveaway, do a review on Apple, of Spotify, of her podcast, and be entered in to win some memorabilia or some autograph stuff or something. So we did a push on her social for that. That worked really well to get traction. We also got the reviews, which is what we need. We need reviews to push us up. And that's going to allow us to be able to chart. Charting as top 100, top 200 of Apple in health and wellness, making sure you have a specific category where your show lives. And that's one thing I see with new podcasters is they don't realize that they need to have a specific area that they live. Doesn't always have to be the same. You can change it, but hone in on that area. And then look at what shows are ranking near you on that chart. Have those guests come onto your show. Ask for a podcast swap. Hey, I'm going to go on your show. You're going to go on my show. By the way, I have 2 million on Instagram. Why don't we do an IG live as well? I don't know any podcaster that's going to say no to doing an IG live with somebody who has 2 million followers and a 70% engagement. It's pretty good. Great. So finding out like what's somebody else looking for? What do you need? And then how do you create a relationship?
Any other advice that you would give to somebody who is just starting out in the journey?
Keep going. If you love it, don't stop. It really breaks my heart when podcasters are so excited about it and they love the conversations. Don't start a podcast to make money. Start it to educate people. And your passion needs to be bringing that education to people, whether those are solo interviews or guesting interviews. Make sure that it aligns with helping people, because that's really what podcasting was about. That's why it was created. It's this really nice grassroots marketing awareness that didn't cost your audience any money, right? Which I still firmly believe in that model. The audience doesn't pay to listen to your podcast. They're really retaining information from you. And over time, you grow and grow. But time and time again, I'll meet podcasters. I've been doing this for a year and I haven't seen anything. That's not how podcasting works.
Yeah.
And if you're not going on 5 external shows a month, that's what we really recommend with our podcasters. Please go on 5 shows a month. Pitch yourself to 5 other shows, because it's going to lead to you being in search engine. It's going to lead to you creating those relationships, asking for favors later on, maybe when you have a book coming out, or you need to go back on somebody's show, or you want them on your show. After a year, it's still podcasting is what we call a slow burn. Slow burn. Even in advertising on podcasting, we don't see traction like we do on social media. We have the attention span of a goldfish when it comes to Instagram and TikTok. We know that we need to see that brand or that product 15 times before we buy it. It used to be 2 years ago, it was 9 times. Now it's 15 times.
Wow.
And so with podcasting, of course, it's slower, right? Just because you put an ad on your show doesn't mean that people are going to buy. You need to have that ad placed multiple places over a period of time so that they will eventually lead to buying that product.
Yeah.
Putting out your shows is the same thing. Keep going consistently. You need to have consistency. If you said to yourself, I'm going to launch a podcast and I'm going to do an episode every Monday, you better put out an episode every freaking Monday.
Yeah.
No excuses, right? So that's the number one thing when I meet podcasters. Hey, I really want to monetize, but I only maybe do an episode once every couple months. Can't sell that. I need to sell consistency. Now you're going to have a podcast that comes out every Friday. Figure it out. Consistency, content's got to be good.
Do you think that consistency, even if it's less frequent, matters more than frequency, like at a particular consistency? So like once a week versus you'd rather have somebody who's reliably once a month, a few times a week, and then disappears?
Yep. I have a podcaster that's once every 10 days. Cool. I can rely on you to put out an episode once every 10 days. I had a podcaster when I first met them. They were doing once a month, but didn't really work out sometimes. And I said, great, you're going to do the first Monday of every month. Now that podcaster is doing it once a week.
Yeah.
And that just leads to really good content, better retention with her audience, higher downloads and impressions. We want to see people actually listening. So that's what we want to see out of people is consistency.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean as well, because some people start a podcast and say, I'm going to do an episode every day. You're not Joe Rogan. Do not do a podcast every day. And do not do a 3-hour podcast every day. Do what you think you can do. Right now, I can do 3 a week. When you write your book, how many can you do? I can only do once a week when I write my book. Then go with that. It's so much easier to scale up than scale back. So start with your minimum and then grow. You're also going to feel like you're not turning your wheels as much when you're first starting out and downloads are a little bit slower. If you're doing an episode, if you're doing 3 episodes a week, you're really going to feel like it's daunting.
Yeah.
Once a week.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
yeah.